Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast here today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it feels so good to be back here in the studio to give y'all yet another exciting episode here today. And I just got to say thank you guys for staying tuned for the show. This is Coffee Talk powered and presented by Spotify. And ladies and gentlemen, boy howdy, let me tell you, we are here and we're officially in our summer season. I am so excited for this summer season. I am blessed and highly favored. I want to say to everybody, thank you guys for staying tuned. If you guys know that we are officially kicking off our summer season. And if you guys know, I know a lot of people missed us last week. If you know, you know, we were all out on a vacation. There's a lot of things last week that happened. We were out on vacation. Cancun, Mexico was beautiful. I'm going to go and talk about that in just a few seconds here. But I want to say to everybody, thank you guys for staying tuned for the podcast. I know you guys been waiting. I've been waiting to get back here in the studio to give you guys another exciting episode. Blessed and highly favored, right? It's blessings upon blessings upon blessings upon blessings here in Studio Latte. So let's break it down before we get to the topic of conversation. I do have some quite interesting conversations, and then I do have a movie review of the Super Mario movie, a Galaxy movie. Excuse me. I will review it because I did see it. Okay, so welcome in Cancun. Beautiful. Had a great time, a very spiffy good time. I want to say to a lot of people, thank you guys who watch the content. You know, we try to give you guys content still when it comes down to giving you as much content as we can when it comes down to being able to film a little bit and to do social media and to continue doing our thing. I just got to say firsthand, we're in the other studio. I've got editors right now editing bits and pieces of the vlog right now as we're recording this episode. So stay tuned because the official vlog for me in Cancun will be coming out very, very soon. You guys just have to, you got to stay patient because let me tell you, when I was filming this vlog series and filming the whole thing, it was approximately 191 gigabytes. Guys, if you know, you know. If you are a filmmaker, if you are a vlogger, editor, animator, who else, storyteller, you know, you guys know that the bigger the gigabytes of your footage, the longer it takes to edit and the longer it takes to process out. These are gone gigabytes upon gigabytes of footage. Yeah, we're scrubbing through because of course, there's gonna be some things that I might have to take out from this vlog. You know, we might have this vlog maybe an hour and a half long. It just might be that long because there's just so much that I filmed over in Cancun. So I gotta say to a lot of people, stay tuned. I don't really have a release date of when the vlog is gonna be released. It's gonna be released this week at some point. I will say that. Um, I just don't know when yet because we're coming through footage right now, and then I've got my B team. They have to edit this our podcast, so we're back into full swing. My vacation's over with. I'm back to full swing with production and podcasting and whatnot. So I just got to say to that, just stay tuned with us. You know, bear with us. We just got a lot of things going on when it comes down to the vlog. But Cancun, Mexico, boy howdy, let me tell you, it was the most beautiful thing that I've seen. I say this, I've been to Mexico before. I will say that I've been to Mexico before. My first time in Mexico we drove to Miami, we hopped on a cruise, and we went to Cozumel, Mexico, and that was 2016. So that was 10 years ago. And I will say, I went with my friend Alex going through. Shout out to you if you're somehow watching the show. My friend Jaheem, my little brother came with us, Harmony. Shout out to you, Harmony. And there was another friend. Her name was Raga. Now, if you guys know, I've talked about Raga so much in our previous episodes. Raga was another friend of ours that went to school and we became RAs and whatnot. Unfortunately, she passed away. I think she had like a hole in her stomach. I think that's what caused her to cause her to pass. So I always think about that trip and I always think about Raga. I know when my Facebook comes out with the memories, I see me and her hanging out with some friends or us in Cosmo, Mexico. So Raga, she was one of those ones that you just really wanted to not only get to know but to really understand because she was such a great friend, she was such a great listener, and she was just amazing through and through as an RA, as a student, and as a friend. So for all of the people that watched this, watching the show, and that became an RA and went to GGC at the same time I did, you know who Raga was, and her legacy will continue to move on. But that was the first time I've been to Mexico, and I'm never gonna forget it because that was a trip that was very, very needed in 2016, damn near again 10 years ago, and I still get engraved in my mind for the better. And then when it came down to it, of course, 10 years later, Cancun, Mexico. That was the second time I was in Mexico. The check in process was easy. You'll see it in the vlog. I ain't gonna talk about what's in the vlog because you got to watch the vlog. But I went to the wrong Hilton resort that's in there. But when I went to the right resort, I had such a great time. And I will say this show, um, on this show today, I will give you guys my final take of Cancun, right? Again, I can't go into every nook and cranny of what I did in Cancun because that's what the vlog is for you guys to experience it firsthand. But I do want to give a shout out, not only with K.L.P Entertainment, but of course, Kennedy Lucas Films, my film studio, is a part of this thing because it's almost like a movie, right? It's like another movie. But Kennedy Lucasfilms, my team over there, they're working on the vlog as well. My end all take about going on a solo trip. Now this year, it was not just to go and film a vlog this year, ladies and gentlemen. This trip was a vacation for me, a long waited vacation. Usually, every summer ish, I try to take trips, a vacation or two. Now, the last 2 years, I did two vacations. In 2025, I went to, what was it? I went to Vegas and I went to Puerto Rico that year. And then I think nope, I'm lying. I think it was, yeah, 2025. I went to Vegas for sure, and then I went to um, Dominican Republic. I went to Puerto Rico in 2024. And of course, now we're in 2025. I ended up going to Cancun, Mexico. And I wanted to make this trip a solo trip. Now, the original plan was to have my friends and family members go on this trip. A lot of my family members, my mom and Tony and everybody, they just got back from Puerto Rico on a family business trip. So I didn't want her to be stressed out traveling so much. And then I've had one of my other sisters, that next week after that, she was going to Tampa to visit my dad. So she was going to be booked with travel. And then my other sister, I think she got a little busy. She's in doing training for Pilates. She's opening up her own Pilates studio, and she has a lot of things going on. My big brother Alex had a lot of things going on. My little brother had things going on. So then I turned to my friends. And of course, my friends, I love my friends, but a lot of my friends were traveling. A lot of my friends went to Vegas. A lot of my friends had to go out of town because they had family friends that are graduating. Happy graduation week, I guess. I think graduation was last week by the time this airs, but happy graduation. If you are a student, or if you're a friend or family member of a student that's graduating, congratulations. You know, it's a great moment to graduate. I always joke with people because I do work in an institution myself. I always joke and say, okay, happy graduation. Welcome to the real world. Welcome to paying bills. I joke about these things, but happy graduation to everybody that finished school. I remember me finishing my bachelor's degree. I always tell students, and I'm gonna get back on this Cancun train. But I always tell my students that I either work with or know. When you go to your graduation, enjoy that moment. And I always say that it's not a pity party for me. It's not for me to look sad and to be depressed about things that are going on. But I always say to a lot of people who are graduating, enjoy that moment because for me, that graduated in 2020. we didn't have a graduation because of COVID, right? We didn't have a graduation because of COVID, and it was a slideshow and it was all virtual and it wasn't fun, right? So I say to students now that I'm officially, I just turned 30, I'm over it, right? I'm a grown man at this point. I I always tell students enjoy that moment because we didn't have it, right? So when you have friends and families come over, that's such a monumental event that you do not want to miss out on. So happy graduation to everybody that graduated with a bachelor's, with a master's, and even a doctorate. Congratulations out there. So back on this Cancun train, I think after my friends were traveling and doing their thing, I made the decision to say, okay, this will be a solo trip. And at first, I was nervous, right? I was nervous about this solo trip because I didn't know what the outcome would be on this solo trip. I got to say to everybody that's listening at home, I enjoyed every moment of doing a solo trip, every moment, because this trip was very, very much needed. This trip was very iconic. It was something that I've never done before. It was something that was just totally, totally, totally different in my eyes. And I genuinely had a great time being that I went to this trip and I had a great time and it was just something so impactful. This trip allowed me to not only vacate, but to be stress free, to be work free, to really eat, sleep, go to the beach, go to the gym, and be merry. Um, and it allowed me to do a lot of things as of rest and recover along with vlogging. Now, if you guys, and again, I won't tell you so much about the vlog because you got to see it when it comes out. But I had moments where I'm setting up the camera at dinner, and a lot of people that were there wanted to know what I was doing, right? And I would say, hey, hey, I'm vlogging. I'm just doing this as a social experiment. And I'm gonna eat this food. I'm gonna do my critique. I'm gonna talk about some stuff. I'm going to really review it and do my thing. It's one of those moments that I have no regrets, right? I think a lot of people feel that they must have people to go on a trip with them. And it's always good to have somebody go on a trip with you, whether it's a friend or a significant other or a partner. It's always good to have that to go. But this year, I have it to where I don't have a partner this year. I don't have a significant other this year, right? So I ended up doing this thing by myself and I enjoyed it. Let me tell you guys something. When I woke up, my stuff is packed. I'm going through the airport. I'm getting a taxi ride to the resort, right? I'm able to do all of those things and be stress free, right? And it was such a fun experiment because I didn't have to really worry about another person, right? Or a significant other or a partner, or let alone a kid that are traveling with me. Now, to this resort, there was a lot of parents, right? A lot of parents went out to this thing. And I get it, when you're a parent, you want to have your moment there. A lot of parents came out to, hey, I want to take my kid on vacation. It was one of those things, T and Hope and audience, everybody that's here in the studio. It, it was very, very impactful, to see those kids there. A lot of kids, they were just, I could see since the parents were a little bit annoyed, right? Parents got annoyed with some of their kids at the resort. I can tell. And then my mind is like, damn, like I'm glad I ain't got to really worry about none of that. It's just me, myself, and I. Um, I always say that, and I say this to my fellas from a man's point of view. To my fellas, if you are thinking about doing that solo trip, that travel trip, by all means, do it. Right, do it because it is very impactful. It allows you to learn a lot about yourself as a gentleman. This past trip, I learned a lot about my personality. I learned a lot about what I like, what I dislike. I learned a lot about myself, right? And stress free again. In the from the room suite that I booked down to the pool, quiet, no arguments, no stress, just quiet. A lot of sleeping. I will say that I did a lot of sleeping, right? Um, but I say that to say, do not be afraid to travel on a trip alone, right? Because it allows you to learn a lot about yourself. Because again, like I've been saying it, I learned a lot about myself. That's a lot of things I know I still got to work on. There's a lot of things that I'm still hoping for, But there's a lot of things that I learned to be within myself and to be within my zone. I remember one time I went to dinner and these two lovely ladies were sitting diagonal from me, and the one lady kept looking like, "Damn, he's doing this thing by himself." Right? I can sense that she felt a little sad for me, but I say to a lot of the people, I don't feel sad. Right? A lot of my friends have asked before I went on the trip, "Will you get lonely? Do you need somebody to come with you? Are you still trying to do this trip alone?" Yes. And I would tell my friends, "Don't feel bad for me. This is something I wanted to do. Don't feel bad. Don't feel sadness because Kenny's the nicest person, one of the nicest people in the world, and he's going on this trip alone." Yes, absolutely. Why not? Right? Because I'm taking care of me, myself, and I. Each morning I got up in Cancun, I didn't have a schedule. I don't have to. I didn't write a itinerary. I didn't do a schedule. I did what I wanted to do within my time constraint and my time frame, and it worked better. Right? It worked. So I do say that to say Cancun was very, very amazing. Um, and there's been some moments, right? I had my moments where man, I wish I had a girl at this point in this time, right? Some of the dinners, it would have been nice to have a young lady across from me eating dinner while we watch the sunset on the Ocean Pacific Caribbean view, right? Those things would have been nice. But I will say this, and I only say this because I saw a lot of couples in Cancun. I saw a lot of couples that were just truly happy, right? I envy that. I like to see couples that are just truly so in love. There's this one couple that was in the pool. They were so in love, they were swapping tongue, like that scene in Mixtape, the video game, where you had a Stacy licking, swapping tongues with her first kiss in the video game. Anybody who played Mixtape, the video game that's out on Game Pass, and when I from Annapurna, you know what I'm talking about. It was swapping tongue. And I'm like, okay, I had to move away. Like, okay, they look like they about to have another baby. Right? They about to shaboink each other tonight. I get it. But I also did see some couples that were frustrated, aggravated, tired, so annoyed with their significant other, right? I walked by and there was this couple arguing about something. I didn't dabble too much into it, but I walked by and they were just yelling at each other. I'm like, wow, wow. I couldn't have fathomed taking a girl on vacation and we're arguing about silly shit, right? I could never fathom that. And that's why I say I'm taking my time with relationships and finding girlfriends. And I think I said it before we went on vacation that I'm actively no longer looking for a girlfriend or a soulmate at the moment. And that is, I still stick to that because I have so much other things that I'm focusing on. And that's something that scares me is the arguments. And I get it. Every couple argue, whether you're married or not, every couple's going to have a fight or have a disagreement. But Lord have mercy to not for me to not argue with my girl on vacation, right? But I saw it. I saw a lot of couples not truly happy with each other, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but I can sense these things, and I sense it that they're not happy about their situation or friendship situationship or they're stressed about work and they say, "Damn, like we just paid 4 grand for this vacation, can I really afford it knowing that we've got bills to do when we get home?" Right? There's a lot of things that a lot of people worry about when they get home. They do. Um, and that's why I'm like, I'm just like, I'm glad I'm sort of not in that moment right now. And I've always said it in my prayer and in daily life, I say my time will come, but I am more than patient. I am more willing to wait for that grand opportunity, whatever that looks like. So that's why I say that this trip is fantastic. My mission next year is to try to train for a 14-hour plane ride to London. I think when I turn the age of 31, London might be on the cards. I don't know because that flight is long, right? We'll see what the world turns and what the world will end up next year. But I look forward to going to London next year to celebrate my year of 31. But as of right now, officially 30, I joined the 30s club. Very, very excited. I used to say, hey, I'm kind of scared of it. I am still kind of scared, but I'm very excited to be a little bit older. I'm excited to be in the 30s, right? I know that sounds silly. That might sound silly to a lot of people that's listening, but I'm really excited to turn 30 because this trip has taught me a lot of things about myself, um, physically, emotionally, intellectually, financially, and spiritually, right? Um, and of course, I joined the Apple TV family. If you guys know, you know, May 11th, May 12th, and May 13th. We did a whole spread while on vacation of my new documentary, Dear Isaiah, is available right now on Apple TV and YouTube TV. All you have to do is, of course, is in our link descriptions for sure. But if you're on Apple TV, all you got to do is type in Dear Isaiah. It's there. Watch it. This movie is a lot more than just making a movie and trying to make money. I said it in the vlog. I'll say it here. All proceeds, if you buy the movie or rent the movie, we have two options for Apple TV. You can buy or rent the movie. All proceeds will go to the Isaiah Stewart Foundation and other charities as we're trying to help spread the awareness. Said this to my team and Kelly Lucas Films and everybody in the Isaiah Stewart Foundation. For me, it's never about the money. All right, it's good to be making money for what you need. I know Holly Lyle and Michelle Early. They both work at GGC. They gave me this good. They gave me this good observation, which is very good. Hey, if you're dope at something, make money and be proud of you making money for something. That's great. But my mission is to also give back to charity, give back to the foundation because there's so much we got to do besides Dear Isaiah. The book got to come out. We got to go on tour. We've got to help spread this awareness. And I'm very, very happy. First and foremost, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I shed a tear when it came down to seeing my movie on Apple TV, right? I've got 10 movies on Tubi, or at least four of them are on Tubi, and the rest is on Prime Video. I've been into the streaming game since 2021, right? But there's just something about having a movie on Apple TV, one of the greats. Um, and it got me very humbled, right? It got me humble. It got me excited. My distribution team did really well on that aspect of it. And to see that this movie is out on bigger platforms like Prime, Tubi, and now Apple TV and YouTube TV, it is such surreal moment. I damn near shed a tear. I really cried when I saw it because it's like, damn, this is another movie that I did really, really well in, and it's on a different network than Prime and Tubi, right? But it's on Apple TV, right? One of the greats. And if you guys know, I say Apple TV is one of the greats because Apple TV has a lot of great shows, right? A lot of great exclusives, a lot of great Apple original films, right? A lot of Apple good quality stuff that Apple pull out in their production spot, right? So to allow me to be a part of that, is really really amazing. Um, and it cost me a good penny. It's gonna cost to get on that network, but I think it was worth it because it just allows me as a filmmaker express myself. So I shared it to a lot of my friends. I shared it to a lot of people that were in the film. They're excited to see their faces on screen for the first time. A lot of my friends, a lot of the people that was in this documentary, either interviewed or part of it, this is their first movie ever, right? Their first movie ever on anything. So it gets me excited for them to be excited for their first ever movie on a network like that. It is just is really really amazing. I do want to say to Tony Stewart, the Isaiah Stewart Foundation, thank you for allowing me to tell your story. I want to say thank you to K.L.P Entertainment Filmworks and Kennedy Lucas Films, my team that brought this whole thing surreal to life, and it just really got me humbled. This whole month we're gonna be promoting the movie, right? We got to. It's promo time now. But I'm very, very excited for where this movie leads. Again, it is available right now. It just came out available on Apple TV and YouTube TV today. Okay, so later on in my segment, I am going to review the Super Mario movie. I promise you guys. And this podcast, this Monday's episode might be a little bit longer because this is the first episode of the summer season. Okay, I got a rant. I got a rant. I got a rant, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the jury. I'm gonna need everybody in America to come in front of the congregation because we have to have a word with you. And I guess you could say I haven't done elephant in the room in a long time. This is kind of the elephant in the room, but we ain't gotta do all the special effects and whatnot. We ain't gotta do all that. Here's my rant. Here's my rant. Capitalism. Now, before I will preface this segment, I'm gonna try not to go so political on this segment because it has a little bit, teeny weeny weeny bit to do with politics, right? But I gotta talk about it. I don't understand it. So we all know groceries is high. Gas here in Georgia, it was 470, 427 before I left on vacation. I checked gas prices yesterday when I was out in the gym. I had to go to the gym, of course. Finally, the gym is my love. I did go to the gym in Cancun. I've been clanging and banging the last 2 days because usually when you get back from vacation, I ate like a fat fuck. So I ate a lot of sugar, I ate a lot of cupcakes and sweets and bacon and meat, and I ate a lot of unhealthy foods while I was on vacation. So I needed to be back into my mode. Shout out to Crunch. I have to say, shout out to Snellville, Crunch in Snellville. I'm sorry. I've been going to Crunch in Duluth because Crunch in Snellville, they're under construction. And I'm proud of their construction, but I'm kind of sad about their construction because Crunch and Snellville, they're blocking out big pieces of their facility. I'll tell you this story before I get to this rant. I went to Crunch Snellville Crunch and on Friday that was my welcome back workout. This is the first time working out since I've been on vacation, and they blocked out one big part, and I forgot they were doing the $1 million renovation, and everybody was kind of cramped up in each other. And I don't know what Friday brought. Friday brought something fierce because when I went there Friday night, a lot of dudes were in there, right, clanging and banging, and that I'm not mad at the dudes being there. I say to a lot of fellas, please wear deodorant. Please take a shower before you go to the gym. Now, usually I do a little spritzing up because I go on weekdays. I go right after work. I go home. I do a little spritzing up, and then I go right because your hygiene and your smell is the most important in the gym. Of course, I'm taking a full shower, scrubbing everything down, body spray, right? I'm fixing my beard. I got my deodorant on, and now I'm ready to go work out. And Friday, for some strange reason, a lot of dudes in there smelled like ass. And I was like, oh no, I can't do this because everybody's cramped up because they blocked out a lot of pieces in there. So I have to go to Crunch in the Duluth area now, for now, until Snellville finish their renovation. Like I say, Snellville, I love you guys, but you guys got too much construction, and it's just not gonna. I can't get a good effective workout in. So here's the point. I went there to, get that clang and bang session. And when over this past weekend, my weekend was the gym and resting and getting ready for the week. I saw this thing. Here's the rant now. AP. AP is a uh, luxury wearable brand that they specify in watches, right? They're specifying in watches, they're specifying in their type of watch bands that they have to sell. AP is a good brand. Personally, for me, I'm gonna go with the Tag Heuer. I'm gonna go with the Rolex and the Gucci. Those things they're expensive, and I like Fossil and Invicta. Right, those are the current watches that I've been rocking with Fossil and Invicta. Right. So AP, as I hit the table here, AP did this collaboration with Swatch. Swatch is a new thing, a new company that's out that also makes watches, but they make different styles of watches, right? So AP and Swatch, they collab together for two, I think two brands, right? The first brand is your full wrist watch that comes in all kinds of cool colors, right? All kinds of suede looking colors. And also, they made a stopwatch. It's not a full band, it's a stopwatch that has like a piece at the top where you can clip on your belt, you can clip on your shirt, you can clip on, and it's like a style piece, right? Here is my rant. Here's the rant that I got. Y'all ready for it? Because I'm ready for it. The rant that I have is for this past weekend, a lot of the malls, the Lennox is part of this too. Lennox Mall, because we're here in Atlanta. A lot of the malls at the stores, people have lost their everlasting mind for this $400 stopwatch at that. People are busting people outside the head, waiting in line. People are waiting overnight to get in the store to buy this one $400 stopwatch. People are beating people up to cut in line to get those type of watches. You got police coming out because there are riots going on. Police pepper spraying everybody because everybody has lost their everlasting mind on this product that's $400. And here's my rant part. I understand if you like something, you want to pay for something that you like, by all means do. Sometimes, again, I'm very frugal, and my family members and friends could tell you I'm very frugal with my money, right? I think very in detail. If I'm about to pay something premium, I think long and hard about it, right? I do because money is very essential in today's world right now. People say money's not everything. Yes, it is. People have lost their everlasting mind on this thing simply because it's FOMO. If you guys know what FOMO is, it's called fear of missing out. People are losing their damn minds over this product. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But people have lost their minds over this product. And that's why you see Channel 2 Action News and Channel 11 Live News and ABC 7 and ABC 3, all these new channels, because it's a story for them. And us podcasters are talking about it. People are realizing that capitalism is a problem to some of these people. People are out there buying a $400 watch that, okay, I'll get it. It looks cool. Would I pay $400 for a stopwatch? No. For $400, I would go and get like a nice wristwatch for that type of pricing, right? And back in the day, I was splurgy back in the day, right? My first Invicta watch, it was that I still got it in my house. Um, my first Invicta watch, it was like a gold with a little bit of blue. Got it from Mexico, believe it or not. It cost me $500. I was young and dumb and stupid at that time, right? That was 10 years ago. But now you bet your happy ass I'm gonna be very careful about what I'm spending money on, right? And my rant part is that people, you can tell that people don't have financial literacy. You can tell that people don't care about their money. And you can tell that people are willing to throw away money, right? It's your money, you spend it how you want to spend it. I'm not here to judge you about how you spend your money, but you can't, for those who go out, stayed in line for hours and hours, who's beating people up, excuse me, who's starting these riots for a $400 stopwatch. Again, it looks cool. I don't get the concept of the stopwatch. You're paying for you, so you rather pay $400 for it to clip on your belt because it's a fashion statement. I saw it on one of the news outlets channels. Some guy was getting interviews like, "Yeah, I just wanted to buy it because it looks good on my drip. Just have it hang and just let it for the piece of it. People don't really ain't gonna notice it too much, but it's the style. So you're willing to spend $400 for that. And get this, it'd be the same people that buy this kind of thing complain about how gas is high, right? Complain about how groceries is high and how they might be late on rent or paying a bill because things are rough. Sorry to call you guys out on it, but it's true, right? I think a lot of people, we have to be careful because you don't think, this is just a little bit of politics, just a little bit. We ain't gonna go too much into politics, but you don't think that this current administration doesn't see that, right? You think government officials, the orange man in that White House, right? You don't think all these people don't see that. And then when they're cutting funding and they're not helping, government's not giving you SNAP benefits or food stamps or things like that in that nature because they look, no, they gonna say no, y'all good because y'all went and bought $400 worth of a stopwatch. Y'all, you got money, so we're gonna start slashing more stuff. Now that's just a little bit in politics. I'm not a political show. We're not a political show here, but that got to be the most dumbest thing to flock over. It has to. I wouldn't be surprised. Those same people like, yeah, yeah, we're not getting a benefit check, or we're not getting a SNAP, or we're not getting all these extra things that we need as Americans. No, because they're gonna say, y'all are still feeding into capitalism, so you good. Y'all got money, right? And then the white man and the orange man in office says that he doesn't care about the American finances. Ladies and gentlemen, you kind of proven his point when you go out and go crazy and go nuts over this piece of technology that is not going to be it look good now. The design looks good, looks pretty cool, but you're buying a piece of plastic or a piece of metal that there's it's not tangible. It's something you can't take with you if you, God forbid, if you pass away, you can't take that with you. You're proving their point. I think we gotta, and I'm not saying, capitalism is the world, is the thing here in America. And sometimes, yes, I do buy things that I need. I buy groceries. I buy a lot of things. I do buy food, right? I buy into these some, but I wouldn't pay $400 for something of that nature. Right now, what I like to spend $400 on, first of all, I put that up in a high yield savings account. If I had $400 just willy nilly like that, just in my face, I would put it in a high yield bank account somewhere and watch that money grow. Personally, for me, I would save that because you always got to create a heavy rain safety rain fund, right? A rainy day fund. That's what it's called. You guys are proving their point. You guys are proving, and people are losing their minds, right? It's the same thing that I've seen for prom. A lot of these kids, and I hate to say it because it's in our community. A lot of us kids in our community in the black culture got money sliding up their sleeve. Parents are renting out Bentleys and whatnot. That is not financial literacy. Some parents are going damn near broke to try to feed into a facade for something that lasts you one night. Prom, right? It's the same kind of concept. It's certain folks in America, they're not understanding financial literacy. And I think we as Americans, we got to understand it that financial literacy is most important. It's so important. And if you don't have financial literacy in today's climax in 2026, where economy is bad, the job market is at an all-time low, right? Gas prices are on the all-time high. Rent is on an all-time high. You got to understand financial literacy right now. When I learned my financial literacy, I didn't learn it in school, right? That's something that was self-taught. And I remember the exact same time too. I left I was a senior in college, but I couldn't be an RA because I messed up my GPA. I had to move out. I called a buddy. We roomed together. We became roommates. And that's when I learned about financial literacy because I was just me on my own at that point. So now I had to get a job, right? So I got a job and I was a full time student. I'm learning financial literacy. And every dollar that I received, I had to think hard about that dollar. Now I still think hard about the dollar, but now I can be a little bit more relaxed. But when I go to wanting something premium, I really got to think long and hard about it. Right? It has to be okay. Will this affect my financials if I went and buy this premium thing? Is it worth buying it right now? And a lot of people don't have that idea. Hence, those people that was at AP in the Swatch store buying a stopwatch for 400 fucking dollars and wasting money. And those same people that bought that watch, I hope your rent is paid. I hope your gas bill is paid. I hope your water bill is paid. I hope your phone bill is paid. I hope your car note is paid. Because you can't go to them and say, I'm a little short because I bought a stopwatch, so I'm a little short on rent this month. No, 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 no. You can't do that. That stuff is still due. So, like I say, it's y'all's money. You do what you want to with your money, but hey, that's just me talking. Coming up next, I got to talk about it. Let's do a review. I finally saw it. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. It's available in theaters right now. May 19th is when it's getting ready to have on digital. I got to say, this is my first take of the movie. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Boy, howdy. I loved it. I love the animation style. I always like Illumination. I like any type of animation, but I love Illumination. Illumination just does amazing work. Um, I'm kind of glad that even though in the first movie Mario and Luigi was the saving grace, the superheroes, quote unquote, in the first movie, Mario and Luigi wasn't really the superhero that saves the day in this movie. It was Princess Peach that was the saving grace of this movie. Of course, turns out, of course, Rosalina and Peach, they're longtime sisters from different galaxies, and of course, evil has emerged on where Rosalina and Peach is at. So, Rosalina has sent Peach to the Mushroom Kingdom and had to let Peach go because of her safety, and that's when the Toads found her, and of course, crowned Peach as Princess Peach of the Mushroom Kingdom. Um, I love everything about this movie. I love the animation style. I love that this movie they stick to comedic elements of this movie. My favorite scene, and I hate that this scene was towards the end of the movie, but the scene that had me going, had me rolling, was the scene. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Um, when Yoshi, Toad, and Baby Mario and Baby Luigi, they're in this forest and they meet up to a gigantic dinosaur. That whole scene, that whole 10 scenes of that part of that movie was so funny. I cracked up rolling. I think Donald Glover, he plays Yoshi. I think he did really well. Doesn't really sound like him though. That's really what it boils down to. I wondered, did they use some sort of effect for Donald Glover to really perfect his voice to sound like Yoshi? That's really cool though. It's really cool that, and for Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, right? We know him as Childish Gambino, his rap name, but he uh he had a good script. He didn't really have to say much. He could just say Yoshi and murmurs and do his murmurs and harmonize something and then say Yoshi. It's a good gig for him. That's his script. That's what Yoshi. You're not gonna have Yoshi have a full conversation as a human being, right? So that's a sweet gig for Donald Glover. It's a good, sweet gig. Um, I think all the characters did really well. Of course, Michael K. Keegan returns as Toad. You had I think Anna Taylor as Peach, and then Chris Pratt as Mario. Charlie Day as Luigi. Brie Larson is Rosalina. So I think Brie Larson as Rosalina. I think she did really well. It's a no brainer. Brie Larson has that voice for a more angelic voice, so I think it was very appropriate. I forgot the guy's name who did Bowser Jr. I think Bowser Jr. did really good. Bowser Jr. was really the main, of course, obviously the main villain in this movie, and it's good to see more characters. Now, here's the thing that I really liked about this movie. Um, and the premise of it, Bowser Jr. kidnaps Princess Rosalina. That's his first princess kidnapping, I guess. And then he goes to find his dad, Bowser. And Bowser kind of had a change of heart. Was the nice guy at first, but then he also became a villain, which makes sense because he's the main villain of the Mario franchise. You can't have Bowser be a superhero. He has to be the villain because it's not really good for storytelling if you always have Bowser as the good guy. If you don't have a good guy, if you don't have a bad guy and you have all good guys, it's a boring movie, right? So I really like that Bowser Jr. was the main villain in this. I really like the the whole ordeal of this premise being focusing on Bowser Jr. I think in the next one, because obviously, yes, there will be a Super Mario movie 3, right? We had spoiler alert at the end that Daisy makes an appearance. I wonder who's going to be playing Daisy. You had King Mort, the frog, is in this. Again, throwing back to old Mario characters, Waikiki, the monkey, right? The evil monkey, Waikiki, King Mort. Birdo makes an appearance, right? I was kind of hoping that Birdo would see Yoshi because in the reading and in history, Birdo is the girlfriend of Yoshi. That's Yoshi's. Birdo and Yoshi, they're a couple, right? Maybe we'll see that in the third movie. I don't know. I was kind of hoping we'll see that, so Birdo can become a superhero after that. But Birdo becomes a villain in this one. Um, and it's just all time great, right? They had a lot of references to Super Smash Brothers. Pikmins were in this movie, of course. Star Fox, Fox McCloud has a character. Glenn Powell plays Star Fox in this movie. I think he does really well as Star Fox. We're gonna get a Star Fox movie from Illumination. We got to, right? I can't wait to see who's going to play those characters. I really like the element of seeing Mr. Game and Watch, Pikmin, and Star Fox. I think they're lining things up for Super Smash Brothers. At the beginning of the movie, the Illumination title card, you had the minions have the wrecking hammer, and you hear the do 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 do. They're lining something up for Super Smash Brothers, right? They're saying, okay, our Super Smash Brothers movie, it's coming, right? That's the idea. It may not come in the next few years, but it's on its way, some way, somehow. Um, and boy howdy, when they make their Super Smash Brothers movie, boy howdy, I'm gonna be in the theaters to see that. Right? That's like Avengers, right? That's just what it boils down to. It's like Avengers. It's like Marvel, right? Um, and in the end, Princess Peach saves Princess Rosalina by touching each other's hands because they have the power of the cosmos and explodes Planet Bowser into the flowery plants of Bowser. And of course, that's how Bowser Jr. and Bowser get stopped from their evil plan. I like the Luma's voice acting. I liked everything about this movie. I like the animation style. Any animated movie, I always going to endure because obviously I am an animator. You guys know my next movie, Guardians, is an animated movie that's getting ready to be finished and wrapped up. Just a little sneak peek for you. But I really like animated type movies, and I just think it just works really, really, really well for them, for Illumination. There's more to come. More to come. I can't wait to see that Star Fox movie. I can't wait to see the Mario movie number 3. We're probably going to get the Mario movie number 3 maybe in 2028, right? Because if you think about it, the Mario movie, first Mario movie came out in um, 2024, I think, and then 2025, 2026. So I think they're doing a year gap when it came down to it. So it was very, very, very exciting. Guys, see it in theaters right now. Super Mario Galaxy movie. Or if you want to wait until May 19th, it's going to be on digital May 19th, so you can see it that time if you just haven't had a moment to see it. Good movie. I like it. It was enjoyable. It's an hour and 30 minutes, so it's not that long, but it was a good movie. It's very, very good to watch. Um, we didn't see Donkey Kong. I mean, we kind of saw Donkey Kong when Yoshi was going through the city. That scene was pretty cool. Like Yoshi's walking and he's going through the city exploring. You see the little dog. You see what's his name? I think his name is Steve for Wrecking Crew. He's in the movie, kind of doing a lot of cameos as Yoshi's walking through the city. I think that's pretty cool. It's very interesting. I can tell that was probably easier to animate because it's Yoshi having a walk motion, but Yoshi in their editing room, the Yoshi's probably at a standstill, just walking like this, and just in a standstill as things are moving to make it look like he's walking through the city. I'm an animator, so I think I know how they did it. It's kind of cool. Good movie all around. Next, I'm gonna turn it over to myself and Hope. We got our hip hop news. Ooh, we're looking at the time. You guys are gonna get a beefy podcast. This is my welcome back podcast, right? So, stay tuned because we've got more news for our hip hop and our front page news. So let's get into it.
Wake up, y'all! It is now time for the front page news of the day on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify. Yeah!
Okay, so here's something wild. Drake might actually break Michael Jackson's record for the most Billboard Hot 100 number ones by a male soloist. And he's doing it with a track that doubles as a response to Kendrick Lamar's diss.
Oh, that's huge. I mean, surpassing Michael Jackson? That's not just a music milestone, that's a cultural moment. And the fact that it's tied to this ongoing feud with Kendrick makes it even more intriguing. What's the story with Ran to Atlanta?
Well, it's one of the standout tracks from Drake's new album, Iceman, which is part of a trilogy he dropped this weekend. The song features Future and Molly Santana, and it's projected to debut at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. If that happens, it'll be Drake's 14th career chart topper, breaking his tie with Michael Jackson. But here's the kicker. It's also a not so subtle clap back to Kendrick's diss on Not Like Us, where he called Drake a colonizer for his Atlanta collaborations.
That's such a bold move. Kendrick's diss was sharp, but Drake responding with a hit song instead of a direct lyrical rebuttal feels like a power play. It's almost like he's saying, I don't need to engage with words. I'll let the chart speak for me.
Exactly, and it's working. Ran to Atlanta is not just a hit, it's a statement. It's like Drake is leaning into the criticism and turning it into a flex. The track itself is a trap heavy banger, very Atlanta inspired, which makes the title even more pointed. And with Future and Molly Santana on board, it's got all the ingredients for a chart topper.
Future is no stranger to success, but this would be his fourth number one and his third with Drake. And for Molly Santana, this could be a career-defining moment. Her first Hot 100 placement might actually be a number one. That's huge for an emerging artist.
It really is. Drake has this knack for elevating the people he collaborates with. Future doesn't need the boost, but for someone like Molly Santana, this is a game changer. It's like a golden ticket in the industry. And the timing couldn't be better with all the attention on Drake's trilogy of albums.
Speaking of the trilogy, how are the other two projects, Habibti and Maid of Honor, performing? Are they holding their own against Iceman?
They're doing well, but Iceman is clearly the centerpiece. First week sales projections for Iceman are between 480,000 and 520,000, which is massive. Habibti and Maid of Honor are pulling solid numbers too, 115,000 to 135,000 and 110,000 to 130,000 respectively. It's like Drake is dominating the charts from every angle.
That's incredible. Like, dropping 3 projects in one weekend is such an ambitious move. Even for someone like Drake, it's like he's challenging himself to see how far he can push his dominance. And with the way things are going, it seems like he's succeeding.
Totally. And it's not just about the numbers, it's about the narrative. Drake knows how to create moments, and this trilogy is a perfect example. Each album has its own vibe, its own story, but together they form this larger picture of where Drake is at in his career right now.
And where do you think that is? I mean, he's already achieved so much, but with this trilogy and the potential to break Michael Jackson's record, it feels like he's entering a new phase.
I think you're right. Drake is at a point where he doesn't have to prove anything, but he's still pushing himself creatively. He's experimenting, taking risks, and finding new ways to stay relevant. And the Kendrick feud adds another layer to it. It's like he thrives on the competition. It keeps him sharp.
That's such an interesting dynamic. The Kendrick-Drake rivalry has been simmering for years, but this feels more direct. Kendrick's diss was biting, but Drake's response is more of a flex. It's like he's saying, I don't need to engage in a lyrical battle. I'll just dominate the charts instead.
Exactly. And it's not just about the rivalry, it's about legacy. If Ran to Atlanta hits number one, it's not just another hit for Drake, it's a historic moment. Surpassing Michael Jackson is no small feat. It cements Drake's place as one of the greatest artists of all time.
And it's not just about Drake. This track is a big moment for Future and Molly Santana, too. Future is already a legend in his own right, but this adds another milestone to his career. And for Molly Santana, this is the kind of breakout moment that can launch a career.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the individual success. It's about the impact on the culture. Drake has this ability to shape the conversation, to set the tone for what's happening in music. And with Iceman and the other 2 projects, he's doing that on a massive scale.
It's fascinating to see how he balances all these elements, the music, the rivalries, the collaborations, the legacy. It's like he's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And with the way things are going, it doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon.
Not at all. And that's what makes this so exciting. Whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny his impact. And with Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor, he's proving once again why he's at the top.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything. Any final thoughts?
Just that it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out. The charts, the rivalries, the legacy. It's all part of the story. And with Drake, you never know what's coming next.
That's true. All right, let's wrap it up here. Thanks for the conversation.
Anytime.
Wake up! Get up! We starting the day!
Let's get into it. Our top story of the day on Coffee Talk presented by Spotify.
Turn it up! Let's go!
Good morning and welcome to Global Gaming Insights. I'm Marcus Thompson, bringing you a story that sent ripples across the entertainment industry. Nintendo, the legendary Japanese gaming company responsible for cultural phenomena like Mario and Zelda, has just dropped a bombshell, a significant price increase for its highly anticipated Switch 2 console. This isn't just about a new price tag. It's accompanied by a cautious forecast of declining profits in the coming fiscal year. For millions of gamers and sharp business analysts, this announcement isn't merely news. It's a stark signal of how even the most successful entertainment giants are navigating an era defined by escalating global costs, economic unpredictability, and shifting consumer expectations. In the United States, the Switch 2 is slated to jump from its initial $449.99 to a steeper $499.99 later this year. This move places Nintendo in a precarious yet fascinating position, testing the loyalty of its vast global fan base against the harsh realities of a challenging economic climate. So, what's driving this significant price adjustment? Nintendo's executives have been transparent, pointing to a confluence of global economic pressures. A primary culprit is the surging cost of memory chips, a critical component in all modern electronics, from gaming consoles to smartphones. This rise is partly fueled by increased worldwide demand, exacerbated by the rapid expansion of artificial intelligence technologies. Beyond memory chips, Nintendo cites escalating production expenses, volatile foreign exchange rates, and climbing global oil costs as major contributors. The gaming industry as a whole has been grappling with persistent inflation and supply chain disruptions for years, issues that refuse to simply vanish. These factors collectively squeeze profit margins, making it increasingly challenging for hardware manufacturers to absorb rising costs without impacting the consumer. Nintendo's decision, therefore, isn't an isolated event, but a reflection of a broader, systemic challenge faced by the entire tech sector. What makes Nintendo's announcement particularly intriguing is the context of the Switch 2's initial performance. Despite the impending higher price, Nintendo proudly asserts that demand for the system remains robust. In fact, the company reported selling nearly 20 million units within its inaugural year, solidifying its place as one of Nintendo's most successful console launches to date. This level of early adoption speaks volumes about the brand's enduring appeal. However, this strong start is tempered by a sobering financial forecast. Nintendo executives concede that the console's momentum may decelerate in its second year, predicting lower hardware sales and weaker profits than initially projected. This cautious outlook, surprising many industry analysts, suggests that even a powerhouse like Nintendo can't escape the gravitational pull of economic headwinds indefinitely. The immediate market reaction saw Nintendo shares drop, underscoring investor anxiety about the company's ability to maintain profitability amidst these challenges. Amidst these financial maneuvers, Nintendo's president Shuntaro Furukawa publicly extended an apology to consumers for the price increase, articulating the company's desire to safeguard the new platform's adoption while battling rising manufacturing costs. This statement truly highlights Nintendo's distinctive position within the gaming culture. Unlike its rivals, who often push the boundaries of raw hardware power, Nintendo has consistently forged its success by cultivating beloved characters, pioneering creative gameplay, and delivering family-friendly experiences. This unique approach generates an emotional value that transcends generations, fostering a powerful loyalty among its fanbase. Gamers frequently demonstrate a remarkable willingness to support Nintendo products even during challenging economic times, precisely because of this deep-seated emotional connection. It's a gamble that few other companies could make, betting that brand loyalty and software innovation will outweigh the immediate sting of a higher price tag. With the Switch 2 now priced closer to traditional home consoles at $500, Nintendo finds itself in direct competition with heavyweights like Sony's PlayStation, Microsoft's Xbox, PC gaming, and the burgeoning cloud gaming sector. The question remains whether its unique value proposition will hold against rivals, often prioritizing graphical fidelity and cutting-edge specifications. However, Nintendo still possesses a powerful ace up its sleeve: its unparalleled software library. Industry analysts are confident that a robust pipeline of upcoming first-party titles, rumored to include new iterations of Mario, Zelda, and Star Fox, could significantly mitigate concerns surrounding the higher hardware price. These exclusive, highly anticipated games are often the primary drivers for console sales, attracting players who want experiences they simply can't find elsewhere. Nintendo's long history shows that innovation and creativity, rather than just raw power, have consistently allowed it to thrive through challenging business cycles, making its exclusive software the true bedrock of its strategy. Nintendo's latest strategic move isn't just about one company. It's a telling snapshot of broader realities affecting businesses globally. Manufacturing costs are undeniably climbing, supply chains remain fragile, and consumers are increasingly demanding more value for their money. For the entire gaming industry, this moment could serve as a critical warning sign. We may be entering an era where hardware becomes universally more expensive, compelling companies to pivot and rely more heavily on digital subscriptions, exclusive software ecosystems, and deep brand loyalty. Nintendo is placing a significant wager that its revered legacy, unparalleled exclusive games, and a passionately devoted global fan base will keep players deeply invested, even as the cost of entry rises. Whether this bold gamble pays off won't just define the next chapter for Nintendo. It could very well set a precedent for how the entire gaming industry adapts to a new economic landscape, where experience and loyalty trump sheer hardware power.
And that's going to wrap it up here on Coffee Talk, powered and presented by Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned because we got another episode at some point with Coffee Talk. Maybe tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. I don't know, because I got to be back for our other show, Play Grit Sports Podcast. Everybody over there at that show, they've been itching to come back. I can't wait to come back because WNBA season's getting ready to start. It is softball season. It's World Series season. So me and Dave, we're going to be talking about that this week. A lot of sports this week that we're going to give into. So that is Play Grit Sports Podcast presented by Amazon Music. So if you want to check out that show, check us out. And then, of course, this Friday, Evelyn will be back in the studio as our welcome back 2 recording sessions. We're going to record what happened was for our comeback from vacation. So I can't wait for that episode of that podcast. And happy summer season, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, stay cool. It's getting warm. It's getting rather warm out there. So I want to say to everybody, thank you guys so very much. I love you guys. And we'll catch y'all in the next episode of Coffee Talk, powered and presented by Spotify, from our entire cast and crew here today in the studio. Thank you guys so very much for listening to Monday's episode. We'll catch y'all in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay swanky. Peace.
Wake up in the morning.
Wake up, Atlanta. It's time for coffee. Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.